next speaker is going to be Shadi Azzizi, and Assistant Professor of Islamic Azad University, co-founder and board member of Neshest. So the floor is yours.
Gentlemen, I am very honored that I am here among you to speak about education. It is my real challenges in 25 years that I have been teaching in the university. If anybody asks me what is the situation of Iran in education of architecture, I can choose two ways for answer this question. One of them is just speak about and describe about the characteristic of education in Iran. For example, the education in Iran in architecture is design-oriented, and the theory just try to support them. And maybe I can speak about my one of my enjoyable and successful experiences that maybe that have a good lesson for students. But I choose the second way, and I'm trying to look a critic look to the education of architecture. Education of architecture in Iran now as a sick and weak body that all the time try make the otherness, that this otherness all the time has an unattainable aspiration about architecture and about their situation. And why? Why these situation dominate in education of architecture in Iran? Because the very serious separation and boundary between academic disciplines left over from the university of the industrial age. I have a question, for example, poverty. Which field of the education in university must be answered to poverty? Economics, sociology, or architecture? I think all of them has duty to speak about poverty. But because the serious boundary between these disciplines, not only sociologists, not only architecture could solve the problem of poverty in the world. And the other one is the slow bureaucratic system of the university, which is not compatible with the latest development and the speed of knowledge production in the world, and prevent creativity in architecture. And let me show this problem that if you like to read it. And the other one is the knowledge produced is limited compared to other source of knowledge production. And we must accept that there is a different way, different source for knowledge production. And the university must try to adopt itself with them. And separation from the real environment and society, I think is a very real separation in Iran. I don't know in the other country. And the lack of acceptance of critical discussion due to the dominance of the bureaucratic relationship system and ideology. And focus on the design core in the field of architecture and the weak body of theory that I believe it in my heart. And making otherness, that it's a big problem, that all the theory in the architecture is come from Western, and they have Eurocentrism, identity. And for example, we don't have a voice. We don't have our voice for speaking about our country, about architecture. When we want to speak about architecture of Iran, we speak about the theory of the Western country and then try to adopt it in architecture of Iran. And this is the big challenges of Iran education. And so me, as Shadi Azzizi, after 5 years, have been teaching in the university, decided to establish my new academy in private sector. That in this academy, I focus on some goals. And what is my goals in my academy? One of them is freedom from rigid bureaucratic system. Afraid of this system and try to get freedom from the bureaucratic system. The other one is go beyond the border of rigid academic discipline for correct understanding of problems. I think the first step must be the correct understanding and then solve understanding. And emphasizing the knowledge of architecture and dealing with intellectual and theoretical issues. And the other one is understanding the Iranian texture in convergence with other experts from other specialized fields, because we have many hard border in discipline in Iran. And you can find some picture of our academy. Teaching methodology of problem understanding and research, which is the biggest problem of Iranian architects at present, and creating access for architects and architecture school, architecture students from the whole country with regard to aggregation of educational facility and processes in Tehran through online workshop, online reading book, online courses, and so on. So in my academy, I have many kind of workshop between disciplines and try to hold it in person, online, offline, for different students from, for example, sociology, architecture, and with different, professor in sociology and economic and the other professor for understanding, first of all, the problem, then try to solve it. Thank you.